this video, I'm going to be discussing deposition, which is the direct result of erosion. And as you should remember, erosion is the movement of weathered materials. Okay, so deposition, again, is the laying down of eroded material. So it is exactly what results from erosion. And I am making this video outside because it is the quiet place. But I'm sorry, there is some airplane noise, if you will. Okay, so again, deposition, laying down of eroded material. So in the picture you can see here, this is what we call an erosional coastline. Okay, so it has sea cliffs because land is being taken away or moved away. And then over here we have a depositional coastline, which forms those barrier islands, depositional. Okay, so we have sand and things being deposited or laid down as a barrier against the land. Okay, so since deposition results from each type of erosion, we're going to go through the agents of erosion and discuss when those materials are deposited, what happens. So, gravity. When things are carried downhill like in a landslide is erosion, and when they get piled up at the bottom, we call those talus slopes. So it's a result of the erosional landslide or the creep or the slump, but it forms talus slopes. Okay, ice. So we're talking about glaciers. So deposition of ice, we call them moraines, long, thin lines of unsorted glacial deposits. So right there, deposit ice. Wind, we have sand dunes. So they can be spectacular like this sand dune, or they can be the sand dunes that we see at the beach. So the wind moves the sand around, and then once the sand stops moving, it forms those dunes. Okay, water, there are several, because water is everywhere and it has tons of impact on the earth, landforms, structures, everything like that. Okay, so the first one we're going to talk about is alluvial fans. So this is an image of an alluvial fan right here. Okay, it is a fan-shaped deposit of sediments that forms at the base of a mountain. So here we have the mountains. Okay, and then here's your fan-shaped deposit of sediments. So stuff just kind of comes out and then spreads out. Mixed sediments. Okay, floodplain is the flat areas on either side of rivers. They have nutrient-rich soil, makes it really fertile. We live next to rivers here in York County, so we kind of live on a floodplain. If you live in a flood zone, you definitely live in the floodplain. And this is a picture of a floodplain. It floods. An oxbow lake is another form of water deposition. So before we get too far going, we have to know what a meander is. A meander is any curve in the river. So when the river curves like such, we call that a meander. Okay, and as this is happening on the outside edge of the stream or river, it's going to flow faster, creating an erosional sort of coastline. So material is going to be removed away, and then on the inside we're going to have depositional areas. So sand is going to be taken away, sand or sediment is going to be taken away from the green parts, and then it's going to be deposited in the red parts. And eventually, as these two pieces continue to be eroded, they'll be connected, and water flows the path of least resistance, so it's just going to continue flowing this way, and then have some deposition over time form here, which forms our oxbow lake. So a meandering part of the stream is actually cut off from the rest of the river by erosion and deposition. Alright, and then a delta is again a triangular shape. It's a deposit of sediments that we have here when a river meets a larger body of water. So when our rivers dump into the Chesapeake Bay, we have deltas. It's very rich in sediment, very rich in some nutrients as well, can get murky, very turbid is what they call it. Also down by the Mississippi River, there's a huge delta, the Mississippi River Delta.